Good evening, everyone, and welcome to UTC Oxfordshire's virtual sixth form information event. I'm Sam Knowlton, and I took over as principal here in April last year. The purpose of this evening is for you to have a flavour of what we offer. We hope you have had a chance to look at our online virtual tours that are on our website. You'll hear from Lynn, our head of six, and Thomas, one of our sixth formers, and then there'll be an opportunity to ask questions. If you have questions as we go along, there's a Q&A function, and if you type in the questions there, then we'll pick them up. So we are a university technical college with science and engineering excellence at our core. We have an Ofsted good rating and specialise in STEM subjects with the emphasis on industry and business approach to education. Students here at UTC Oxfordshire are empowered to think and act confidently and with professionalism. They're guiding through their education by highly qualified, experienced staff who are not only qualified teachers, but have also had industrial or business background before they joined us. I'm really pleased that you're able to join us this evening. Thank you. And I'm going to hand you over to Lynn, our head of six, who's going to take you through this evening's information. Thank you. Lynn, over to you.
Thank you, Sam. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. I know that some of you may already have attended or seen some of our virtual content. So the flavour of this evening is really about what we can tell you about our sixth form that's going to help you to make this really important decision, especially at the moment where things seem a little bit uncertain. Securing the next step is really important, and we want it to be the right step for you. So what do we do in sixth form? We have a specialist offer. So as you will see from this slide, we have three sort of main pathways that our students sign up to do. Engineering is a big part of what we offer, just under 50%, perhaps not as much as sometimes people think. And students can either join us on a technical route where they do some level 3 BTEC along with some workshop professional qualifications, or they can do an extended diploma in engineering, which is equivalent to 3 A-levels. So they're really specialising at 16, getting to grips with lots of different aspects of engineering, and then making a choice as to where they go with that at 18. And we have some students who choose a slightly more academic engineering route. They will take the extended diploma, perhaps alongside a maths A-level. And that's a really powerful offer and gives students lots of choices at 18. Equally, we're very proud that we offer science and maths either as A-levels. So we've got maths and further maths, then our science and A-levels, and then computer science and product design. We also offer AS core maths, which all of our students who are not doing maths A-level take in our sixth form. This is a really important part of what we offer. We understand that maths is a sort of facilitating subject, and to just leave it at GCSE, even if you're a good mathematician and you're not yet competent to do full A-level maths, we understand that an AS and core maths is a great offer. It really strengthens what our young people have to give to employers and universities. So we've got traditional A-levels, but this year we are offering vocational science. So it's an extended diploma in applied science. It gives students a chance to specialise in science, but mix up practical and exams. And then we also have an extended diploma in business. So students who want to look at the business aspect of some of our local employers can choose to specialise in business. Extended project is a big part of our offer. Students can take an extended project, which is equivalent to an AS level at any time, either in year 12, or they can sign up for it at the beginning of year 13. So it's really nice to have that sort of academic enrichment so that students are leaving us with a sort of rounded education. We're a specialist, but we're not narrow. So it's nice to see our students taking an extended project, perhaps in something to do more creative, to do with film or with an artifact, and exploring an area that really interests them. So that's our kind of menu in terms of our sixth form choices. How well do we do? Well, we do pretty darn well. We're ranked last year as in top 1% in terms of students achieving AAB for facilitating A-levels. Now, all of our A-levels are facilitating, so in that sense, it was an easy shoe-in, but we get great results. As Sam said, our teachers are specialists, they know what they're doing, they've come here because they are passionate about these subjects and work really well with students who are also passionate about them. So we were very, very proud of this, and you'll see it all over our website. So students going off to different destinations is what it's all about. The sixth form is an experience in itself, and we hope it's a really enjoyable one. But, you know, at this time of year, my year 13s are looking forward. They're looking for their next step, and our job is to support them on their journey to that next step. So last year, we had 54% of our students took a place at university. That's higher than we would normally expect, largely as a result of the drop in apprenticeships available. So this little graphic on the left here shows you that university was our most popular choice, with apprenticeships and employment coming in behind. Some students also chose to go on to do additional sort of courses, so HNDs, HNCs, sort of level 4 middle route, which isn't necessarily delivered at a university. And here on the right, a lovely picture of, on results day, they were all wearing masks, so we didn't get to see them, of Alex, who went off to do astrophysics at university, Surrey, and by all accounts, she's thoroughly enjoying it. So destinations are an important part, and I actually think sometimes I can do this, we don't have this information on the website, but those of you that are thinking about, well, if I come to UTC and I specialise, what can I do? What might I do next, even if I decide that university is right? So I thought I'd share this with you so that you can see on the left-hand side the kinds of universities that our students have gone to. Quite varied, I think. Lots of Russell Group, but not necessarily entirely Russell Group. And yeah, some really interesting subjects. As you can imagine, they're very much focused on our specialism. So 2 of our students went off to study medicine, which is great, computer science, mechanical engineering, obviously quite a lot of science, so chemistry, biological science, and some maths as well. So real sort of variety of largely STEM destinations that our students choose to go into. So if you're watching this and that's something that you think you'd like to do, and that those are subjects that you're interested in, then UTC is a sort of real choice for you. So I don't want to sort of leave apprenticeships because they're a very big part of what we are. But as I said, this year we did not secure, as many students did not secure an apprenticeship as we would normally have. But those that did are going to work for great organisations, some of them local, well, all of them local to us, but some of them familiar with some of you. And it's interesting that you wouldn't think normally that a mechanical engineer would end up doing a degree apprenticeship at the Royal Berkshire Hospital. So our students teach us something about opportunities and what's out there. Equally, at Vodafone Business and Management, the student who went there was one of our top grade engineers and scientists. So he's taken a slightly different tact. He says he's never been busier, by the way, doing business and management at Vodafone. So our students go to a wide range of different places, and we help them on their journey to get there. Here they are on results day. Some of them, we took a sample of students again, so you can just see what they're off to do. Lovely that Aidan went to do natural science at Cambridge, but we've also got mechanical engineering, maths, marine biology, etc. So really, obviously, part of our sixth form is this proud moment where students make that journey and go off onto their next stage. So you're thinking about sixth form and you're thinking about where you'd like to go. And it's an exciting time because you get to apply to as many sixth form places in as many different spots as you can. What's important is you think about where you're going to fit and where you're going to, what kind of environment are you going to enjoy. So for this evening, I'd like to introduce you to one of our year 13 students. Thomas Holborn is studying an extended diploma in engineering with us. And he's volunteered this evening, slight press ganging, to talk to us from his home and tell you a little bit about what his experience of sixth form at UTC. So he's going to speak for 4 or 5 minutes and give you a flavour, and then hand you back to Sam where you can ask questions. So if you've got something that you think you might want to know, make a note of it now. You'll get an opportunity to ask your question shortly. But for now, I would like to hand over to Thomas, please, who's going to tell you a few things about his experience of UTC Sixth Form.
Right, hello. Yeah, I'm Thomas. So I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that the courses do for the Extended Engineering Diploma, some of the things that the school does just generally, and kind of what you do in your free time at the school. So I'm going to start with the Extended Diploma part. And so this only applies to the Extended Diploma, but the extended part of the diploma, what makes it extended, is a partnership with the Army. And this is basically where we partnership with the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers, which is the fixing branch of the Army. And what they do is they give us a project, and this project consists of 3 assignments in a unit. And so they will present us with roughly 20 problems that they have in real life. So for example, they might get too much dust in their wheel and it clogs it up, or they might get dust in some of the machinery that should work remotely, so it doesn't, and they need to figure out a way to stop that happening. And so they'll give us these problems and we need to pick one and find a solution to it. And so for the first assignment, then we will basically pick one, develop ideas, come up with some ideas about what could happen. For the second assignment, then we will go and visit the Remy Army base, which is quite good. And they have a big setup of all the different stands with all the different problems. And they let us kind of like see all the equipment, explain the equipment to us. So it's all quite professional, to be honest, and very productive. And then for the second assignment, then we basically pick a final solution to what we're going to do, and then we have to make a prototype of that. So this assignment will include many different skills. For example, it could be 3D printing on CAD, it could be milling, or just general workshop work. And then the final assignment is analyzing your time management and is basically testing the product. So again, it's a wide range of skills within that. So it's quite good for developing, working as a team, and working as an individual to learn all those skills. Right, so next then we have EOP, and this is an employer-led project, and this reflects UTC's very large list of contacts within the engineering industry and industry generally, to be honest. And this is basically where different companies come in and they'll give us a project for a few months, and we will just do that for 2 hours every Thursday afternoon. And it's quite good because we work in teams to get these projects done. And so the brief for these projects will be things like design a production line. For example, we made one out of Meccano and mini motors and stuff, and we had to design one and program it, and that was quite good. But then you get a large range of different projects. For example, we also got BMW Mini coming in, and they gave us a more kind of wordy project, and this is where we had to think about the possible future designs for what could happen in Mini and how we could develop the product for like sustainability and for sales. And then we had to put it in a presentation and present this to Mini and try and sell it to them as our idea, which was quite nice. So then I'm now going to talk more about like your free time and what you kind of do in your free time, basically. So we have like 3 periods here and there in our week, and in those 3 periods we're free to do, well, talking pre-COVID, we're basically free to do what we want. So we could go to the gym, and like, so there's a free gym, you can use it no charge, so that's quite nice, and that creates for the people who go there, it's quite a nice sense of community, because you'll generally speaking have 3 periods aligning with other people, so you can all go at the same time. That's quite nice. That, or you can go upstairs and kind of, there'll always be people upstairs you can sit with and talk with, so it's quite nice to sit there as well. But if you're feeling like kind of blowing off some steam and you're just done with being inside all day, then you can also go outside, and there's a mugger there so you can play some football, just kind of hang around. It's kind of up to you. Yeah, and so that's what you can do in your 3 periods, whereas in lunches and breaks, then we have a 20-minute break and a 40-minute lunch. And so you could call that relatively short compared to some schools, but it's not really, because you finish fairly early for the day. And what you can do in that is either again go outside or just stay inside. It's up to you really. We've got a large canteen you can that's good to eat in. That's quite nice to just meet up with your friends at that time. So just kind of people everywhere. For me, then I've set up a games club for lunchtime, because I feel like people kind of can sometimes kind of sit in the corner of a table and avoid conversation. And the point of this games club is you all put your phones down and you all kind of come together, and it's like kind of card games and stuff, but it all makes you interact. And it's quite nice to just have everybody in a room. And so once you've got everybody in that room, then they'll interact nicely and they'll talk to people they wouldn't otherwise talk to, and it's not awkward, and it all flows. So that's one of the many clubs at UTC. For example, there's some in the workshop and some in the science labs as well. So finally, then the relationship, so there's quite a professional atmosphere, as has been mentioned before, and this is partly because we are trusted with our own time management. So we're given assignments as part of the BTEC, and we have to get that in by a certain deadline, like in business. So you can get it done however you want, just get it done by that deadline. Then there's also the relationship with the teachers, and this is it's kind of quite different from secondary school, obviously. It's a lot more, you're treated as an equal. So if you have a question, then you can just ask it and it's fine. But more importantly, then they take the feedback. For example, I have been working on a course, but over COVID, it's been really split up. So what we've asked is that teacher basically just goes quick kind of over the entire thing again, just so that we all know what we're doing properly. And it's quite nice to get the feedback and to actually be listened to in a classroom. And then finally, then there's a dress code. And so obviously you all have to dress in professional business wear as you do. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening. And I'm now going to hand over to Sam for the Q&A.
Thank you, Thomas. That's great. For those of you that are listening, you might notice that Thomas called Lynn and I Sam and Lynn, which you might find a little bit unusual, but that is something that we encourage here, that we're on first name terms as you would be in a business. So I think we have Alice with us, who's going to direct some questions that you may well have put in some in the Q&A for us. So I'm just picking those up.
Hi, so the first question I've got here is, can students study A-levels and a BTEC at the UTC? Lynn, if you could answer that one, please.
Make me fast. Well, an extended diploma or BTEC level 3 extended diploma is equivalent to 3 A-levels. So most of the time we ask students to enroll for that. The exception will be if you wish to do mathematics A-level alongside your extended diploma, then we'll have a look and see how you're going to do, because you're going to cope. But yes, that would be the exception to it. Otherwise, the extended diploma, the 3 A-level subject is a full course in itself. And don't forget, students will also be doing core maths, and we'd like them to have time to do EPQ if they can. So I'd say largely no, unless you wish to do A-level maths alongside your extended diploma.
Well, thanks, Lynn. I have a question here that says, are we as the same as the school day, 5 days a week, 8:45 until 3 p.m? don't know who'd like to answer that one. Sam?
Yes, okay, I'll answer it. Yes, so we are a school, and although we have this specialism and we act professionally and we have a business approach and an industrial approach to our studies, it's quite a long day actually. It's 8:30 on site and 4 o'clock finish. What we try to do is replicate the working day so that you're more prepared for industry and the place of work later on. However, you've heard from Thomas who said that there's downtime during the day. So what you'll have your timetable, but during that day and your timetable, it's different to being in school in year 10 and 11, where your day is completely filled with all of your lessons. You'll have some lessons that are taught face-to-face with your teachers. You'll have some study periods where you'll go to the LRC and you'll work independently. And then there'll be some downtime, as Thomas said, where you can chill out with your friends and chat, or use the gym, or go to the cafe. So it's interspersed, but your day is slightly longer and structured similar to a school, but different. I hope that answers it.
Thanks, Sam. So I've got, are the entrance grade expectations for this year the same due to COVID? Who would be best placed to answer that?
Lynn, do you want to start off and then we'll
Yes, they are the same. So we have our entry grades are on our website. So you can see that there are slightly different entry requirements depending on which course you'd like to do. And that's not to be mean. That's because we anticipate that hopefully when the vaccine rolls out and things go back to nearer to normality, that our students are well equipped to be successful in their sixth form study. So for the time being, we're going to leave our entry requirements the same as they've always been, I think in line with other schools. However, we need to be flexible. So I don't know, Sam, if you want to say something about that.
Yes, what I was just going to add is that for every application, you will have an interview with Lynn, and you'll be able to talk through the courses that you want to do and the grades that you're perhaps being predicted or that you're going to get. So there's always discussion to be had, and we look at every single student as an individual. We don't just do a blanket no shrunk. So whilst we do have entry requirements, that will be accompanied by an interview. So you'll be able to come across an interview as well.
Thanks. Lynn, could you answer this one, please? Can you change the subjects in the first year if you're initially unsure, for example, from academic to a more technical track?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Well, you could change in the first month. That's actually quite normal. You start something and you're not really sure how it's going to be. Why would you know? We don't expect you to know. So you might start on A levels and then think, well, actually, I really like what they're doing. I'd like to do engineering or business or applied science. And if you have met the entry requirements anyway, and we've got space, we will obviously move you. You've already voted to be a UTC student. We want to keep you and we want you to be happy and successful. However, there is a realistic point, by the time we're approaching October half term, where that becomes more challenging because students have to catch up. So yes, definitely in the first few weeks. In fact, we expect people to perhaps change. So definitely in the first few weeks, and thereafter, again, very much on a case-by-case basis, making sure that we're not setting someone up to fail, because there's no point in moving them into a new subject and saying, oh, by the way, could you catch up on the last 3 months worth of work? So we would do it case by case, but once you're in UTC, we will do our absolute utmost to make sure that you're on the right course for you.
Thanks. I'm going to throw this one at Tom, if he's still there.
Yep, that's cool.
Do students have to wear suits in the sixth form?
So that is technically what the dress code is, but you don't always have to. For example, I wear a shirt and tie, and as long as you tuck your shirt in, do your top button up, and wear the appropriate footwear, then yeah, not really. So I don't wear a suit because partly I overheat and I have to cycle in school every day, so I'll just ruin my suit. So as long as you're presentable and you are yeah, and you're professionally dressed, then they won't matter. Like hoodies don't roll, but other than that, then it should be okay.
Thank you, Tom. I have two questions that probably tie together. Where are you based? I don't live in Didcot. How would I get there? So two different people, but I thought they probably linked together. Sam, are you able to answer that one?
Yes, no problem. I don't know Didcot very well, I'm afraid. We're next to Asda. That's probably the best way to describe it, on the crossroads. If you don't live in Didcot, there are a number of bus services that come from Oxford through Wantage, etc. And then if all else fails, we do have a minibus. We have 2 minibus routes that we operate at a pretty competitive price. And there's an opportunity to apply for a minibus place to bring you in and take you home again in the evening. Is there anything else you want to add on that, Alice?
No, I don't think so. We have a number of students who, so we have students who lift share, we have students who get the train, we have students who cycle. So there's quite a lot of different ways of getting in. And if you are struggling with finding a route and you really want to come, let us know, and we can always see if we can put you in touch with someone in your area. Let me find the next question. Oh, can I dye my hair then? That's not from me. Oh,
I see. I was going to say, Alice, can you dye your hair? Look, it's about being professional, and that's what we're all about. So yes, we do have students here whose probably their hair colour isn't their natural hair colour, but if it's smart during the day and it's tied back if it needs to be, and obviously definitely if you're in a workshop, whether you're male or female. I mean, you'll have noticed that Thomas's hair not dyed, but you know, he has to tie it back when he's in the workshop. So we're not draconian, but you know, if it would pass in a workplace, you'll be all right.
Perfect, thank you. Is there a cafe, Sam?
Yes, we have a cafe. Thomas mentioned the canteen, the cafe. It's called the Elements Cafe in the science theme. We have a catering company that we specialise in. I suppose the street food is the best way to describe it, or at least that's how they tell us it is. But it's grab and go food. Everything from, there's always a vegetarian option, there's a meat option. It is anything from butter chicken to kebabs to various healthy options there. We occasionally have some pop-up things like a wood-fired pizza was really popular. We had a wood-fired pizza come in and actually have that as a special. But I think by and large, the food in the cafe is well received. I'm so told, but it is tasty. Yeah.
Thanks. Lynn, do any students do A-level product design or physics instead of maths as part of the engineering route?
No, they don't. It's just to do with capacity. Physics, largely A-level physics we would recommend, not exclusively, but that you potentially should be an A-level mathematician as well. And product design is a very, very heavily coursework oriented A-level, and engineering is 50% assignment work. So it's overload. So at the moment, we ask students to either choose their A-levels or their vocational, with the exception of maths. Sorry.
Thanks, Lynn. Sam, what is the dress code like?
Okay, so I think our best description is boardroom ready. Okay, so at the super smart end, if you're going to go meet Lord Sugar, thank you very much, that's what you'd wear. As Thomas has already spoken about, if you don't have a suit, then a pair of chinos if you're a gentleman or a lady, or whatever way, but trousers, shirt and tie, a jacket would be great, but looking boardroom ready and ready for that interview. So that's the dress code.
Thanks. I'm going to answer this one. There's one asking if anybody comes from as far as OX5. I know that we have done in the past. I'm not sure at the moment, but if that person would like to email us at admissions@utcoxfordshire.org.uk, I can have a look for you and find the answer. I then have a question that is asking, this one will be for Sam. Your website mentions students will need Chromebooks. Are these provided free as part of the course, or would we need to purchase one?
Okay, so all of our students do have electronic devices. We do have Chromebooks available to students. Yes, we do provide them for you. We have a deposit scheme, and you pay a deposit and we'll provide them and use them for the duration and hand them back. If you want to bring your own device, which a lot of students do in the sixth form as well, then we can accommodate that, but yes.
Thank you very much. That's all the questions I can see there. I'll leave it a minute or two just in case anybody else wants to pop one up. No, I think that's all of them done.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We would love to have you on site because it would be amazing to see our facilities here that are in industrial standard, and we're really proud of what we have to offer here. As soon as this lovely lockdown is over and we're able to have people on site, we'll be inviting tours for the school and to come on and have a look around, and I hope you would take us up on that. In the meantime, there are some virtual tours on site, on the website. You'll see me walking into cupboards a little bit lonely, but you can have a flavour of what it's like there. And then I guess the next step is, if you're still really interested, which is great, please could you apply online, and then we will have your contact details. We'll be in touch. You'll have an interview with Lynn, and we will from that be able to have you on site and discuss the next steps. So thank you very much for joining us this evening, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.